Okay, so this is the second tutorial. Just a reminder, obviously, what we did last time. When you turn it on, I don't know why, it's always going to ask you if you're working from home. Yes, because it's a home license. You always make sure you click I'm at home. And again, remember, there's lots of component parts. If you want to have a play around with this, you can. This could work in other subjects, but we're only concerned with the technology side of things. Now, we will be, last time we looked a lot more at the basic electronics. I think we only used one part of the more advanced electronics. We're going to use a lot more of this today. So go onto the electronics page and open it up. Now, just like last time, we're going to start with some basic components. We had our battery and our buzzer from last time. Now, if you go over here, there's all of these different kind of folders open. So again, I'm only going to go into the electronic components one there, open that up. And all of these are kind of open because I've been using them for quite a while, but I'm going to close them all. So you should see them all like this. We're going to start off with the first part. If you look at your PowerPoint there, we have our battery on the side there. So let's get our basic components out. And we have our battery on the side over here. And we have our buzzer. Oh, no, we don't want that. We want that. We have our buzzer up here. We used those two last week, or the last lesson, sorry. So we've used them before. Now, where it gets a little bit more advanced is some of these other component parts. Now, if you remember when we did our electronics lesson, we looked at lots of these symbols. So we're going to start off by getting one of our basic ones here. You'll notice there's two resistors on there. So down here, under our basic components, we have resistors. So I'm going to get the first one in, and it's about positioned there on the PowerPoint. Now, first of all, I've got 680 ohms there, but the one on the PowerPoint, resistor 1, is 10K. So I'm just going to change that to 10,000. And as it does that, it changes it to obviously 10K ohms. That's my first resistor. And this is a little handy bit to know. Second resistor, I want to bring in here, but you'll notice my second resistor is actually sideways. Now, again, I can change that by going right-hand clicking, go to properties, and I can just rotate it. And there we go, like so. So again, this one here, what's the number there? I've got 1K, 1,000. So 1,000 ohms. And as I click off of it, it will change it to 1K there. Now, those two are connected together. This one up here is connected down to my battery. I have over here, you might recognize this symbol from when we were using electronics lessons. It's the transistor, if you remember. So we're going to go down here to a folder that says discrete components. And it should be, trying to remember where it is. You have a little kind of, no, it's not in the, where are we? Ah, here we go, discrete. So that's the ones we want there. So under, it's analog processes, the one that you want to open up there. So we were just in basic components, and then go down to past inputs, analog processes. Then you've got passive and discrete. We'll come back to passive in a minute, but we're going to go down to discrete components. And down here, there's two types. You'll notice one of them has an arrow down, which is the same as our diagram. So we want this one here, NPN. Sometimes you just got to scroll through the different folders to find the component you want, but these electronic symbols should be quite familiar to you right now. You should have been able to recognize this one here. We've done it a few times in our electronics lessons. I'm going to now connect. Oh, I hate when it does that. Sometimes it struggles a little bit. There we go. With drawing the lines, you just got to kind of move it backwards and forwards. So we've got our two resistors there, our buzzer up here, and then that was our transistor down there. Now, as I mentioned before, over here, we have quite a unique input. You should recognize it from this symbol. We spoke about how the LED has arrows pointing outwards because it's emitting light. But when you have this symbol here where the arrows are pointing inwards, that's our LDR, okay, our light dependent resistor. So that's where we've got things coming in. So I'll go to my inputs here, and I've got LDRs. Now we're going to use the LDR with a lamp. The image on the PowerPoint is from the old Crocodile Clips program, but obviously Yenka have updated their program. So instead of having that little kind of lux system on the side there, we've got this really handy little torch that we can lift up and down to change the input of light. It's really quite a nice little function now. I like the update that they've done here. So I'm going to go on there, I'm going to connect these bits here. This new program is so much easier to use than the old Crocodile ones. And there we go. You can hear the buzzer going off there. And watch what happens now, because obviously in this question it says what happens when you use the circuit. I'm going to raise the light, and as soon as it goes past a certain point, turns my buzzer off. And then I'm going to reduce the light, and it gets past a certain point and it turns back on again. So that is basically our circuit. And there you go. That's today's lesson. Have a build of that. Explain what happens to the circuit when you obviously change the light on the input there, and just get a little bit more experienced in this.